What up, beautiful people? We have about 15 minutes of daylight left. We had a incredibly difficult workout this morning. I'm so shocked my body can even function. We're gonna play, I think, 2 holes, and I'm gonna take you through my off-season workouts while I try and survive playing these 2 holes irons only because I don't have my woods with me. So just to add another plot twist to the whole scenario. And we found a Bridgestone BX RX ball, and so I'm just genuinely curious to try it because I've heard you can hit these things an absolute mile if you have some club head speed. So with that, that's a lot to throw at you, but let's get cooking. Didn't hook it as much as I wanted, but it's not gonna hurt me. Just a high cut, let's keep it moving. I'm shocked my body can even function right now. Okay, so off-season workouts. In my Path to Pro video that I put out this summer, link below if you haven't seen it already, I talk about my goal physically, and I want to be a 185 ball speed guy. That would put me at the elite end of ball speed, and I just feel like with where the game's going, that's just a requirement, I think, to be elite. And I have the advantage of speed. My issue has always been controlling that speed and being able to use it. And so for the past year, if you guys have been following kind of the fitness journey, Matt, my trainer, and I have been building a foundation to kind of create a base. What's exciting about this off season is this is the first time I've been able to really build on a physical base. So we started our heavy off season lifts in September because I was just playing the men's nights, and to be honest, if I was sore, I didn't care, right? This is the long-term goal is more important right now. So we have been going heavy. And if you saw my swing update video, I talk about how strength, in my opinion, is a big factor in just technique. The stronger I get, the better my technique gets. And that's across the board. We're not just talking, full swing and driver. We're talking chipping, putting, all the finesse shots. You'll be surprised once you start focusing on your core muscles and how engaged they have to be when you putt. The stronger you get is actually an advantage for putting. It's just wild to think about it, but it's true. I take this shot as an example, right? I've got 100 yards to the pin, and for me, the stronger I get, the better I can hold these positions, not collapse, because you guys would have seen me historically, right? If you watch any of my videos probably March of last year, right? I was so quick with wedges and I was collapsing. Well, that is an absolute disaster. Versus now, I can just be a lot more calm, have a lot more structure, and it just seems to work through the ball so much better. I pulled it a touch, but we're gonna be fine. We're putting. And that's all I care about, to be honest. Because if you see my wedge game before, I would have been line drived over the green. And so I feel like strength kind of gets bundled only into speed. And truthfully, I think strength actually does more for finesse than it does for speed. I think the ability to control your body is such an asset. And your body is the engine of the swing. So Matt has put together this plan for me to ramp that up. And my goal was to get to 105 ball speed, but also 185 pounds. And what's nuts is that we've actually already hit the pound goal. So I'm already 185. The shape of my body has changed drastically doing this. It is actually pretty wild. Physically, I feel like my posture is better, all that, but it's nuts. So actually we've changed our goal to be 190 by Christmas. I thought it was gonna be 185 by Christmas, but we're actually gonna be 190 by Christmas. I wonder if that RX ball doesn't spin. It's the Bridgestone BX RX or whatever. I clipped that pretty good. Did pull it a touch, but I would have figured normally every shot I hit, like especially with a slope like this, would have ripped back. This is this little Tony Hawk action here. All right. Oh, not high enough. Not high enough. Pars don't hurt when you're hitting irons only. from the blues. Maybe that should be my strategy for the summer. Who needs a driver? Just rope a 4-iron, pitch it on, call it a day. So the way we've structured the lifts is we did like my 1 rep max testing, which was actually pretty nuts because my 1 rep max on squat and deadlift was 275, which blows my mind. I'm like 5'10" on a good day. And before I started this journey, guys, I was maybe 162 pounds. You know, like when you see the early videos of me at the beginning of the channel, yeah, it's like a 23-pound difference versus what I am now, which is just insane to me. And if you told that guy I'd be putting up some of the weight I'm putting up now, I wouldn't believe you. So we did the 1 rep max test, and then it's been basically progressive overload. So every week we ramp the weights up. Matt's been controlling the reps. We do low rep, high weight, and then we have a deload week. And so then today we hit it again, got up to 240 for my working set for squat, and I am exhausted. We're just gonna keep ramping up the weight and build that foundation all the way to Christmas. And then at Christmas, after that, we're gonna flip back into rotational stuff, landmines and all that. We're gonna rip the gold tees on this one because I've just been ripping the nastiest stingers. This is actually a previous stinger of mine from maybe last week. Oh. Plus, I wanna see if I wanna see what the body will do today because I'm struggling to move. Oh yeah, that's sick. The other thing that's been really cool about this whole journey when it comes to the physical fitness element is kind of figuring out like what my body responds to. And so over this past year, I've actually noticed I've lowered my frequency of workouts, but upped the intensity. So as opposed to doing 5 days a week, which is what I was doing before, I do 3 hard days a week. So it's like a Monday, I do a Tuesday, Friday, Sunday split. So it's like hit it hard Tuesday, hit it hard Friday, and then do a pretty good circuit Sunday. And so it's like 1 to 2 days recovery for 2 of the workouts, and then 1 day off on Saturday. And that split seems to be the best split my body responds to. And this is where you got to dial in what works for you. But I've just noticed this has been the greatest period of physical change I've seen. And what's given me the flexibility and the strength to integrate into the swing has been what Matt and I have been working on. It's been crazy, kind of what we've been able to pull off. So essentially, that's it. Not overly complicated. It's crazy that we're already at the weight goal. I was shocked. And you know, we were hovering between 178 to 181 at the end of August, and just have completely pushed through once we started lifting heavy. My body has responded crazy, which is also just wild because I've never encountered this before. I've never had a training situation like this be so positive. So it's like the convergence of Matt and what we're doing with Ryan with the technique has just been like the ultimate pairing. Probably wasn't the smartest play. We're quite a way back, and it is cold. This is the joys of not having any woods with us. Anyway, we're gonna hit a cut 6-iron. I can't even, my rangefinder's not picking anything up. So it's probably a cut 5, but I figure cut 6 won't hurt us. And I think that's the thing right there. It's being able to hit those shots stronger. One of the things that I am noticing, and this is where, from a mental standpoint, I still don't feel super solid here in the backswing. It's getting there. It's better. But the reason for why I'm so obsessed with the workouts is because I know when I finally get strong enough to hold this position with confidence, I can change path from there all day. Like, I know exactly how I can hit my cut, hit my draw, do whatever I need to do. But I've noticed for myself, the issues come when I have to rush this and I can't hold it, and there's like a weird thing in my brain where then I I don't do the move fully intentionally. Sometimes I can take my eye off the ball, and then that's when stuff goes sideways. And that's kind of the last piece to all this. You know, the working out is just as much for the technical game as it is for the mental game for me. There is something to pushing yourself to hit these heavy lifts that really unlocks something in your brain. You know, when you have to put 250 pounds on your back, or lift, you know, deadlift 275, there's a barrier that you have to conquer. There's a fear you have to conquer. And I think that directly correlates to then building your body up, giving yourself that confidence to take it out here, so that when you have to stand over a drive and be confident, you know you've done the work. You know you've done it. And I think for me, seeing the dividends of that start to come, you know, the intensity with which I'm able to bring to my game is very different now. And the calmness I'm starting to feel because I feel powerful. I think, you know, going through those mental hurdles builds a powerful feeling. And the only way to achieve that feeling is to earn it. And I think that's what makes it also more powerful. All right, just like we thought. It was a 5-iron. We have the flash on because it is now so dark. So let's see if we can clip this, because we can barely see the ground. Oh my gosh, I am shocked. That came off very nice. All right, let's finish on a high note here. Let's finish on a high note. Come on. Can barely see the brake, but I know it goes left. So. Come on, come on. Oh, just hit the brakes so hard. All right, so that's the off-season workout breakdown for now. I'll keep you guys posted as things evolve. And we track the ball speed, and we track kind of the weights and everything we're doing to kind of hit the goal. But so far so good. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really pumped about where the progress is at. And I think this is my X factor on pushing the swing more in a pro direction. I think just the consistency with which we're going at it in the gym. And I forgot to add, all of last year, I was only in the gym with Matt once a week. We've now gone to twice a week. So that 3-day split that I was telling you about, we're doing 2 with Matt and then 1 on my own. So the intensity with which these workouts are being done is very high. I've got my nutrition dialed in, which is why also we're seeing the weight gain the right way. I didn't lose any weight over the summer. I was able to still keep growing with everything I was doing with Matt. So the nutrition's dialed, the intensity's dialed, and we're just gonna carry this right in through the winter. So that by this spring, I want to be just feeling so confident over the ball that I can just send it and finesse it any way I want. So with that, appreciate y'all. I'll catch you on the next one.